Coming to you live from heaven's #1 source of news, the Faith News Network.
Stay with us as we cover God's gift of faith throughout the ages.
Coming to you live on FM from heaven's streets of gold.
Headlines from history, stories new and old.
Live from the Pearly Gate Plaza, it's your hosts, Cameron Flowers and Summer Showers.
Good morning to all the heavenly hosts. It's another beautiful day here at the Pearly Gates. We are so glad you joined us for Faith News today.
As you know, we shine a big golden spotlight on God's people, those who trust Him and His promises.
It's always an honor to sit here next to my co-host, Summer Showers. And may I just say, you have a brilliant new gold spun hairdo today.
Thank you, Seaflo. I have to admit, I peeked at the lineup for today, and it is absolutely halo-tastic.
With that, let's go to our roving angel reporters on the ground, Seraphim and Cherubim, and their camera crew, Cammie and Micah.
Heavenly morning, Cameron and Summer. We are here in Israel where everyone is abuzz about the subject of our Faith News future this morning. That's right. What the people are saying here is that Noah has been building a very large boat for decades. And if you know the dry weather around here, you know that's pretty weird.
I can't wait to get footage of this ginormous boat.
Yeah, this is big news. Let's get it straight from his wife, Miss Noah. Hello. Just speak into the microphone here.
That gold stick.
Yes, the gold stick. And look over here at this little black box. So, can you tell us a little bit about your husband, Noah?
If you're going to make fun of him too, I'm not gonna.
Oh, no. We're very interested in the construction project going on here.
Oh, in that case, years and years ago, God told Noah to build a very large boat called
an ark.
An ark. You've heard of it? And of course I told him it's gonna be expensive.
I can imagine so.
You have no idea. So, he builds the boat, I think. What do I care? He has a hobby. Then he says he wants to put animals on it. But get this, not just the animals we own. He wants to put 2 of every animal on the boat.
That's a lot of animals. Clean up on aisle 5.
Exactly. So guess what I've been doing for the past year? Starting our own zoo. But don't think I'm complaining, mind you. All God's creatures are valuable, and I don't want to
Mrs.
be...
Noah, I don't mean to interrupt, but do you think we could get your husband to come over?
Sure, I gotta feed the camels and giraffes. Anyway, hey, Noah. Yes? Come meet my new friends. They're not making fun of us. They're actually interested in what God has to say.
Well,
Definitely. Talking to the golden stick, honey, and look in the little black box.
Get a little closer to Mike. I mean, the golden stick. Can you fix your hair? It's covering your face.
Hair. When God told Noah there was gonna be a flood, it was a little hard to stomach, so dry but never seen mud. But I stood by my man, and at least I knew my friends would understand. Until I told them and heard them say, seeing is believing. 'Cause seeing is believing.
You're talking crazy.
We're living in the desert. To Noah. It's crazy to believe something you can't see. So what do you say now, Noah? Hey, Noah. It's gonna rain. But seeing is believing. It's gonna rain. But seeing is believing. It doesn't make sense. I believe just the same. Now you've lost it, Noah. It's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. It doesn't make sense. Oh, it's gonna rain. I believe just the same. Oh, it's gonna rain. Wait,
What's that?
what's happening? Why do I feel wet? Drop was falling from the sky. Drip drop, I can't believe my eyes. Drip drop was falling from the sky. Drip drop, I can't believe my eyes. It's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. It doesn't make sense. Oh, it's gonna rain. I believe just the same. Oh, it's gonna rain. Here comes the
Well, as you can see, it did rain. Noah's neighbors are in for a big surprise. And now, that brings us to our weather forecast with our own Sally Soker, right?
Thank you, Seaflow. Yes, as you just saw, it is currently raining in Noah's neighborhood. Meanwhile, between Elim and Sinai, manna and quail are falling from the sky. That's right. God is providing for his hungry people by actually making food fall from the sky. Hallelujah. I am always excited to see what God does next. Of course, in that desert, it is hot, hot, hot. Not a drop of rain there.
While Sally's making way back to the weather room, let's go to a commercial. Just kidding. Everyone knows there's no commercials in heaven.
Wasn't it amazing to see the faith of Noah? Especially when the skies were clear and it didn't seem like it would ever rain.
It sure was. You know, having faith means that you are certain what God says is real, even if you can't see it. Let's go back to Chera and Sarah, reporting in Susa.
Thank you, Seaflow. We are here on the ground reporting in the Persian capital of Susa. talking with Queen Esther, who has quite a story to tell.
I'll say she does. Queen, can you give our heavenly viewers a little background on your story?
Viewers? Never mind. Just look over here and tell us your story.
Wait, just a second. Wait, just a second. I need to get her into the right light and focus. Move 2 steps to the right. Stop. That's perfect.
Okay, the king had been searching for a new queen, and he brought a bunch of us to live at the palace, where they pampered us with spa treatments almost every day for a year. It was quite luxurious.
I should say so.
And can't you believe, out of all the girls, the king picked me to be his queen?
That's quite an honor. But I understand that you're facing what could be a life or death situation. Can you tell us more?
My cousin Mordecai made me promise him not to tell anyone that I'm Hebrew. But there's a horrible man named Haman working for the king who must kill all the Jewish people.
Mercy!
Unbelievable! Can't you talk to the king about it?
We have very specific laws here. Even as a queen, I'm not allowed to go see the king unless he invites me. Anyone who goes and see the king without invitation could be killed.
Mercy!
That's crazy!
We've been fasting and praying to God. Honestly, it's a very scary decision. But my cousin Mordecai always says this may be the only reason I became queen for this very moment. Lord, I'm frightened. I want to hide this burden I carry. Tears me up inside, but I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone.
Okay, I'm gonna glare through the camera.
Makeup.
Hurry, we're about to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
What a story! I almost flew out of my seat. I am just receiving word that the king has granted Esther's request to come and see him.
And it looks like the king has removed Haman from power. Because of the faith of Esther, the entire Jewish people will be saved.
Yay! Her very life was in danger, but she risked it all and trusted that God had led her to that moment for a reason. And that's faith, the faith of faith news.
You know, Summer, sometimes God calls his people to do dangerous things when they trust him. It reminds me of the time when that guy named Saul was going around killing all the Christians. Everyone had heard of him, and he was scary.
Super scary. I remember that. I think this is the perfect time for what Seaflow and I like to call fantastic faithing.
In Fantastic Faithing, Summer and I compete with each other, acting out stories of heroes in faith. When the bell chimes, we switch places, and you can participate in voting by clapping your wings as we go along. Cami and Micah, are you ready to get this?
We are ready.
Good. Let me hear those wings.
In today's Fantastic Faithing, we remember the story of Ananias and Saul.
Saul had been on the road to Tarsus when he heard a loud voice, and so suddenly he was blind. Oh no.
So, one day, this chill dude named Ananias was on his way to Tarsus. When God called him, he told him to go find the scary guy Saul and lay his hands on him so he can regain his sight. Regain his sight? Saul wasn't blind, was he? Sounded like a trick. Why would God have Ananias reveal he was a Christian to the man who was hunting Christians?
But God is big, big, bigger, and Ananias was part of God's grander plan. So while Saul was on the road, blind as a bat, Jesus spoke to him, and he said that a man named Ananias would find him and help him regain his sight.
Ananias had to believe where he was going without knowing the details, or even if he would be safe. Once Ananias had believed in faith,
Saul's sight returned, and he changed his name to Paul,
who wrote much of the New Testament. God did a mighty work in his life, and that's Fantastic Faithing.
Fantastic what?
Faithing.
That shouldn't be.
That was fun and kind of weird.
Yep, and I got every bit of it.
Faithing is trusting that God is in control, and he is faithful. Yeah.
I don't think that's a word, but it should be.
Let's jump to sports. As you know, the Halos and the Flappers are competing today in the final tournament of the season.
One thing you'll want to keep your eye out for is the leap of faith that both teams will be using. It is the mightiest slam dunk in heaven.
Let's go to the Hall of Faith now. It's an exciting day here at the playoffs. Both teams are looking strong. It's time for the tip-off.
Referees are always fair in heaven.
The faith, be courageous, be strong, do everything in love.
Everybody can slam dunk in heaven.
If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Nothing will be impossible for you. Nothing will be impossible for you. Nothing will be impossible for you.
Tie game!
There are no losers in heaven.
That is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Go Halos, go Flappers! Let's take a moment to... What a game! Let's take a moment to go to traffic with our very own Cameron Flowers.
There is a slowdown of angels praising near the gates of awesomeness, and the overflow traffic from the Hall of Faith has been rerouted past the Celebration Coliseum and the Sugar Praisatorium. Now, for traffic on the ground, let's go to our own correspondent, Fly Wingspan. Wingspan, can you hear me?
Yes, Seaflow, I'm here, flying over Bethlehem, where there is a camel broken down by the side of the road. It's going to take a while to clear those 2 speed humps, and over at Sanson's village, 2 enormous pillars have fallen, blocking all access to the main roads. If you'll travel back a few centuries with me, looks like the roads around the Red Sea's just emptied, so you'll have smooth traveling there. And that's Traffic with Wingspan. Back to you, Seaflow.
Thanks for that eye in the sky report, Wingspan. Now we go back to Chera and Sarah where... Am I hearing this right? Yeah, they're walking, I repeat, walking, not flying, but walking, with a large group of Israelites around the city of Jericho. What is happening?
Excuse me, may we talk to you and film some of your story?
If you can keep up and walk alongside me, yes.
Sure, just don't walk too fast. This stuff is heavy.
My sources tell me that you and your people have been walking around the city for the past 6 days. Can you tell us why?
Wait, your face is so sweaty from all that walking. We need makeup.
How long has it been since you had a bath?
We had to clean you up before you put any makeup on. Now you may tell your story.
Okay, I was near Jericho when an angel of the Lord appeared before me and told me to take off my sandals, for I was standing on holy ground.
Holy ground? How exciting! That was my friend Mike. He told me about that. This is so exciting! But I noticed those people in the wall towers were laughing at you. They didn't seem too concerned. How does that make you feel?
Following God can sometimes feel a little silly, especially when what he asks us to do is impossible. But each step of faith takes effort. But it gets easier as you walk with him. Which reminds me, word to the wise. If you're going to walk around a city 7 times, you'd better bring some sensible shoes.
Cammy, get a close-up of those shoes.
I'm on it. Wow, those are pretty cool shoes.
For the Lord has given you this city.
Wow, did you see those walls fall?
I sure did. And look, I'm wearing my own pair of walking shoes. They sure come in handy on the Prince of Peace hiking trail.
How about the faith of Joshua? It took faith to believe that just walking in circles around a city would make the entire walls crumble. You know, Summer, faith sometimes looks like foolishness, but it's what pleases God.
So true, Seaflo. Let's go to the ground with Chera and Sarah and the film crew. What's happening down there?
We're here with a man named Moses who has an amazing story to tell. There's action, drama, and even shrubbery. Moses, what can you tell us?
Cut! We need to fix Moses' beard and hair. I can't see his face.
Hair.
I don't really like talking that much. I'm not a great speaker.
Don't worry about that. Just start from the beginning. I understand you heard God speak to you. When? How?
I was tending to my sheep when I saw a bush on fire. The weird thing was, it wouldn't burn up. And then I heard a voice calling to me from the bush. It called my name.
And it was God. Do you remember what he said?
How could I forget? He said, "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground."
Holy ground? How exciting!
I was terrified. And then he said he wanted to rescue us from the Egyptians and lead us into a land flowing with milk and honey.
I'll bet you ran to tell the Israelites.
Not at first. Like I said, I'm not the strongest speaker. I mean, I'm gonna go tell the Israelites what God said, and then I'm off to tell Pharaoh to let God's people go.
Oh, now?
Yes, like right now. It's why I'm so nervous.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's about to get really exciting down here with Moses. Let's listen.
Hello, Pharaoh. I've a bit of awkward news. The God of the Israelites has a message just for you.
But after God sent 10 different plagues on the Egyptian people, Pharaoh at last let them go.
Until he changed his mind. The Israelites turned around and saw Pharaoh's army marching right behind them. The Red Sea was in front of them. They were trapped. They were terrified and cried out to the Lord. But Moses answered them.
Do not be afraid, stand firm. Oh, do not be afraid, stand firm. We will deliver from war. God will fight for you. Just be still.
The Israelites turned around. No. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea, so that the people may go through on dry ground. I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, so they will go in after them. Then I will be glorified. And
I am the Lord. I am the Lord. Let my people go. Let my people go. I am the Lord. I am the Lord. Let my people go. Let my people
I am happy to report that the Israelites indeed went through the sea on dry ground, with a wall of water on their right and on their left.
The Lord used Moses to save the Israelites from the hands of the Egyptians. What?
Hallelujah! Well, Faith News has one last feature to report. After that, I'm off to represent FNN at the denominational Nat Fest out on the Golden Clouds.
Of course, a real FNN favorite. Let's go back to Chera and Sarah on the ground.
We're here in Hebron about to talk to Abraham and Sarah. Many of you know them as parents of the nation of Israel.
Here they are now.
Abraham, Sarah!
Look at this black box while I talk.
I understand that you are leaving your people and your country to find new land. Why?
Look at this black box while I talk.
God told us so.
And speak up so we can hear you.
God said he would make us into a great nation, which I think is sort of funny, since I don't have any children, and I ain't no spring chicken.
I'll never forget it. He said to look up at the heavens and count the stars, and that my descendants would look like that. He said he would bless me and make me into a great nation.
Yes, and all the people on earth would be blessed through you.
Yes, that's what he said. Did you hear?
It's going around.
That's a pretty big promise.
That's a pretty big promise.
Yep, but God said it, and I believe it.
Do I leave everything I know? Do I simply trust and go?
Could all people be blessed because of me?
Will you help me trust and believe? Will you lead me, guide me, open my ears, calm my fears? When I can't see you, I know you're here. I can feel you, I trust you're near. There's one thing I know. You won't let me go. Not know where I'm going, but I know you leave me there. Land beyond my wildest dreams. Mistakes I often question you. But your love for me remains true. Lead me, guide me, open my ears, all my fears. Even when I can't see you, I trust you're near. Even when I can't feel you, I trust you're near. There's one thing I know. You won't let me go. Not know where I'm going, but I know you leave me there. Know where I'm going, but I know who leads me
Everyone and Sally.
Wow, if that didn't tug at your wings, I don't know what will.
Like I always say, people of faith may not know where they're going, but they know who called them and who leads them. That's what faith is.
Abraham agreed to go without knowing where he was going.
Noah built the ark because he believed God.
Moses trusted that God would deliver them from Pharaoh.
Joshua believed God would deliver Jericho into their hands.
Queen Esther risked her life to save her people.
Faith of any size comes from hearing God's promises, believing them, and acting on them.
Filming all these stories has really inspired me to trust in God.
Me too. I need to spend more time in prayer, reading His Word, and listening to God.
You know, to have this faith, we need to know what God has promised. That's why it's so important to read the Word of God. All His promises are a yes in Christ Jesus.
We believe God's promises are true. We believe what He says He'll do. We'll rejoice no matter what tomorrow brings, and together we will join and sing. Hallelujah, praise the name of Jesus. Hallelujah, praises to the Lamb. Hallelujah, praise the name of Jesus. Hallelujah, amen. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. 1 John 1:9.
Come unto me, all that you are weary and carrying burdens, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7.
Be strong and courageous, do not be discouraged, and God will with you everywhere. Joshua 1:9. So the sun set you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36.
Reports of faith are coming in from all over. People are hearing God's promises and actually believing them.
Will you be in the heavenly headlines today?
Breaking news! Reports of faith are coming from all over.
Faith news, faith news. Faith news, faith news.
Our God is bigger than we could ever know.
Thank you, guys. That is Faith News today. I hope you guys enjoyed our production. They did an awesome job, and I want us to give a hand for the choir. The choir didn't bow, but guys, the choir did awesome singing. And I need to do a few recognitions. If you can help give those sacks, bring those sacks up here. Sorry. Zach, if you can just, yep. I need Dana and Laura and Riley and Lane. Are you guys in the back? Where have they made their way back in here? Come on up. Molly, come on up. These ladies have worked. Avery, where's Avery? Avery was my junior assistant. She assisted me. She loves drama. So we have young and old here helping us put on. I shouldn't call us old. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound good. But anyway, I'm just saying it takes a lot of us to put this on. And I am so thankful for each and every one of them, their dedication, their time, being here faithfully for 8 to 12 weeks. I don't even know how many weeks we've been doing this now, since January. But it takes a lot to put a musical on. Thank you guys for giving of your time and your energy to be here and be faithful. Parents, thank you for bringing your kids to practices. That was a consistent responsibility, and it took your time and energy and effort. So thank you for bringing them and working with them and listening to the songs. I imagine most of you guys know the songs by heart yourselves. Thank you for working with the kids with their lines. They did fantastic today. So I am so proud of them. Most importantly, we want to thank the Lord, and we want to walk by faith, and we want to trust Him. And I pray that each and every one of these kids, as they have listened to the words in the songs and the message in this musical, that we just take each step, take one step of faith, and our faith begins to grow. So thank you, guys. Let me give you guys your gifts real quick. Oh.
We have one more person to thank. We have an amazing children's pastor here at OKC First. She puts her heart and her soul into these kids.
Okay. Okay, Molly, thank you. Molly has been excellent working with our soloist. And Laura did the choir. Thank you for all the time and energy and all those motions and movements. I couldn't believe how good she was at all that. Dana, thank you. You are my faithful, always there. Thank you. And she worked with me on drama. And Megan, where did Megan go? Megan was here. Megan, you're supposed to be up here. Where are you? Way back there. Why are you back there, girl? Megan came consistently and helped us too. She helped in a lot of different ways. Haley, did Haley not make it today? Okay. And Lane, here you go. They helped us backstage. Riley, thank you so much. And Avery, thank you, Avery. She had a lot of good ideas with drama, and she helped us a lot. When I was stumped, I'd say, Avery, what do you think? And she would throw out a good idea. So love each and every one of you. Thank you.